one thing that I like about what you guys do is like it's so practical. It's like not just information based.
Like the last bit of October, we cash collected 42K.
So Reez, hello my friend. For the people that don't know you, if you just want to give us an introduction, definitely want to dive into your story and ultimately what kind of agency you run. So if you just want to start with who you are, where are you based, how old are you, and what kind of agency you run, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, so we run a marketing agency where we help with done-for-you, offer refinements, marketing, and a little bit of a done-with-you sales training so people can close more deals. And currently we run on a setup fee with a monthly tech fee, small amount, and we do pay per appointment.
Sweet. And whereabouts are you based? How old are you? Give us a rundown.
I'm 30, man. I'm old. So without the beard, I'll look 16. But anyway.
Hey, this is good though, because you know what? Everyone thinks everyone that fucking works with me is like 15. So it's like...
Yeah. So I do look young. I'm currently in Bali. So yeah, this is where I'm based in right now. So yeah.
Nice, man. So let's take it back to, I think you've been in the program for, what, like 3 months, 2 months? How long's it been?
Yeah, about like 2.5 months.
First off, what niche do you serve? Because I know you mentioned you have a done-for-you agency. Who specifically are you serving right now? I know we were talking about the pivot you guys are making, but what does that look like?
Yeah, currently pretty much anything high ticket. High ticket agencies, coaches and consultants. We got financial services. We got one high ticket product as well. So moving forward, we want to niche down and really focus on like one specific niche.
Sweet. Okay. So if we go back 2.5, 3 months ago, I'm curious to know where you guys were at revenue-wise, and where do you feel your biggest constraint was in the business that made you even want to consider joining License and Scale?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's only 2 to 3 months ago. But we were at 12K revenue, cash collected around 6K, right?
Yeah.
And Jacob, my business partner, he's a guy who always focuses on scaling and not like going the other way. So he introduced me to you actually. I've never heard of you prior to
Oh,
this,
interesting.
right? Yeah, and then I watched some of your videos, and then I didn't even hop on to the first call that Jacob had with one of your reps. And then I hopped on the second one, looked into your stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. Our biggest constraint at that point is 2 things. One is clarity. We didn't have clarity. We were doing full-on partnership, kind of like the growth operator for such a long time before that. We couldn't scale. And then we were like running ads, pausing. We were just not sure about like client acquisition and fulfillment. So at that time we were just like pretty much starting out.
Right. So you were doing 12K, and was it mainly paid in fulls at the time? How was you getting the clients as well? Was you already running ads then?
Yeah, we got like 4 clients. No, probably more than that, but 2,500. Most of them are like on 1,500 with a payment plan, and then we just started signing people on and then just creating stuff on the fulfillment. Like Jacob, he knows a lot on marketing, but we don't have like a productized service at that time.
Got you. Okay. So coming in, came in about 2.5 months ago. Where, like, if we just take it forward to where you are now, I know Jacob just mentioned you hit a big cash like last 2 weeks. What does that look like in terms of revenue?
Yeah, it's crazy. The past 2.5 weeks, like from like the last bit of October, we cash collected 42K. So revenue, I think it was 48K, closer to 50. We just got a few deals pending. But yeah, 42K in over 2 weeks, which is crazy. Because the first week and a half, we hired a closer. You know, we just ramp up ad spend to 500 a day. We think, hey, he can crush it. Let's give him all these leads, and then he quit not too long after that, which is
the inevitable fuckery side, right?
Yeah, but the fact that we managed to kind of bounce back, because last month we were like, shit, like this month is not going to be good. But then we actually beat the month before with just like 2.5 weeks after that. You know, which is a good sign that, you know, we're only going to scale up from here.
100%. So take me back to, so you're at like 12K revenue, 3 or 4 clients. Last 2 weeks you've done like 45K new cash, whatever you just said. What do you think were the biggest levers that you pulled in order to get there? Like, what were the steps that you took?
Yeah, so we hired people. We never stopped ad spend, right? Even when we're not closing deals and we feel like, hey, the cash is going out every single day. We didn't stop ad spend. We didn't like lower ad spend significantly, and we just acquire. And then Jacob in the trenches with the guys in the team, he just like fulfilled these people while also like productizing it at the same time.
Yeah, so making it so like kind of the fulfillment service is pretty similar across the board, so you can scale acquisition. And like that's funny you mentioned that, because I think the biggest thing that fucks people over with ads is they're too emotional. Like they'll look at the ads on a day-by-day basis and start freaking out if things don't go their way in the span of a day, a week, like even like 10 days. But sometimes you do just need to be extremely stoic, right? Because maybe you have like 3 or 4 days when the ads are gaining traction, a bit of fatigue occurs, and then you look at it on like a 7 or a 14, 30-day time frame, and you're actually profitable, right? Because most people, and I know this because I speak to a lot of people that fucking do this, it's so annoying. Why did you keep the ads on? Were they consistently profitable? Or was there periods in time where there was big dips in cost per call, show rate?
Yeah, 100%. They were like big dips, like big dips, and then it worked out, and then big dips. And then as we get better and better, like me getting better at closing, understanding the fulfillment, just having more conviction, and just like Jacob knowing what to do more, and just having a team behind it to actually make some changes on the ad side of things. There's less dips, I would say. Like, I don't even know if there's dips anymore because I don't look at it on a day-to-day basis now. I'm at a point where I understand that's just the ads game, right? Like, you might go a week spending a whole lot. You might go $1,000 without closing anyone. That's like really normal. But then if you stick to it, that's when you will go past that and start making money. A lot of people fail because they don't go past that. And that's why we were slow in scaling at the start, because we went through that period.
Yep. And so you did 12K, 45K in 2 weeks. What were the key hires that you made? I know you mentioned that you were able to bring some people in to help you scale, that you otherwise, obviously, like you were really stuck in stage 2 of the agency delegation dilemma, right? Where you're doing everything, which obviously you still have things that need to be delegated, of course. But what were the key hires that you made that allowed you to scale up to that point to now?
Yeah, it's funny because when we first started, when we came and joined your program, it was just me, Jacob, and our tech guy that we know from, like, working in info products in the past. Yeah. And when we had the onboarding call, bro, you gave us so much clarity. Like, you're like, okay, do this. Like, just step-by-step process, right? Like, hire a setter, get someone in as a CSM. And that kind of, like, break my beliefs, because I thought, okay, hiring, you don't know what they're going to be like. I don't want to give this role away. Is he going to perform to the same standard? Paying them, like, are we going to be able to pay them at the end of the month? But you're like, just go for it. Like, this is how you're going to scale. So you gave us that clarity. We hired a CSM, an account manager, and a tech guy, and a setter as well. I mean, no, an assistant to the tech guy and a setter.
Cool. And it's funny you mention that, because that's actually very common on like every single onboarding call. The people that are below like 20, 30K, they're like holding so high on this like 90% margin, and they're afraid to let it go. But if they want to get to like 100K, the reality is you've got to be okay with the fact that margin's going to dip temporarily. But that's what you need to do if you want to build a business that you can eventually be decentralized from, and you can scale. Because otherwise, you are essentially just a glorified freelancer, right? It's like you work 15 hours a day, and everything you work on is low leverage shit majority of the time, which pulls away from your ability to focus on the higher leverage things, Yeah,
100%. And like people say, right? Nothing's going to change until you make a change, right? So we were trying to brute force our way to 50K months with such a lean team, and you're like, no, just hire a setter. I thought I could do the call confirmations and all that myself. But now, actually, I just had an interview, a group interview. We're hiring 2 additional setters for the team, right? So, yeah, that's the only way for you to scale. And having that clarity from that onboarding call is really what pushed us through to like actually taking that decision. Because you'll be surprised, people delay stuff for months. That's what we did. We delayed for months, and time goes by quick, right? All it takes is just one decision to do the interview, to start acquiring people, to start paying people. And then things can change,
And it's funny, like, sometimes you need to be reminded more than you need to be taught. Because you probably knew months before, we maybe should hire these people. But, like, just hearing it and just being held accountable to it is like, okay, I'm actually going to get it fucking done now because I put the money down. I've got the SOPs to know how to hire, when to hire, how to onboard. Like, that's usually all it takes. Like, the amount of times I've invested in programs where I'm like, everything you told me, I already knew. I just needed someone to tell me it, to affirm that I was thinking on the right track,
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing, right? Like, we know stuff, but when it comes to like implementing it, it's not as easy as people make it out to be, because you actually have to do it. You have to take that risk, right? So when we joined in the onboarding call, like, you just gave us the steps that we knew, but we never did it. And on top of that, you give us clarity on what to do. Like, hire a CSM. Okay, we can do that. We know that we need to do that. But you actually laid out, okay, watch these videos, this SOPs, all of that stuff, which helps tremendously. This group interview that I did, everything I got was from your SOPs. Make some tweaks and changes to that to fit our company, and that's about it. So yeah, it definitely helps.
Bingo.
The learning process. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess, because obviously we've got like a shit ton of content, right? And nobody gets through all of it. What do you feel like, you know, being in the program for like 2.5 months has been the most beneficial thing, besides the onboarding call that we've spoke about with the clarity and the direction? Is there anything specifically that you've got a ton of value from that you feel has helped you the most?
Yeah. First off, the community. The community is freaking amazing. Yesterday I hopped on the call, right? I asked about like how to get European numbers and stuff. Somebody helped me give the SOP. For that. So that's one thing. And then just being around these people who make 6-figure months, like from, I don't know what's the lowest to the highest, but you learn from different stages in their agency and you can help them out. There's power in like helping people out, because like when you teach people, it reinforces that knowledge in you. So yeah, accountability is a big thing as well. You do the weekly accountability call. I think like we've joined different programs. I'm a big investor myself, like whether it's before our agency and even right now. But one thing that I like about what you guys do is like it's so practical. It's like not just information based. It's a lot of information in the modules, but you know exactly what you need and where to pick from and where to get, so you can move a lot quicker.
100%. And now looking forward, I know we were just having a conversation prior to this about, you know, some changes you need to make, fires to fix, and the ultimate goal. What is the goal, let's say, within the next, let's say by the end of the year? What are the main focuses for you guys that's going to get you to 6 figures a month? So we can do an updated call like this where you guys are at 6 figures.
Yeah, that's actually the goal, 6-figure months. Our next goal is 70K, and then 100K months. Hiring up, not just hiring extra people. So we are going to hire another CSM, and our current account manager, he's also doing a CSM role. So we're going to kind of have less stuff for him to do, but become better at it and more efficient. And then just like your advice earlier in our chat, you said hire up for the CSM, hire somebody who can help with the 4 R's, right? Ups, I can't remember, retention.
Retain, refer, review, resell. Retain, refer, review, resell. They're the 4.
Yep, and you said something important there. You said it's worth hiring better people and paying more, just from the amount of like, I guess, churns or like bad communication and inefficiency that happen. Those can cost more. We were looking at the numbers, right? We had a few people that we had to refund in the past, because it's not because of the deliverables, it's because of inefficiencies in communicating. We were replying late, they were asking a few questions that we missed, and just little things like that. Just by making the right hire, we can eliminate that completely.
Yep. It's so true. And it's like people see hiring people kind of as an expense. The way that I see every person we hire is like an investment. Because even if they don't have a quantifiable metric tied to their role, like you look at a tech person, you're like, well, how is this person an investment? But if they save you, 10 hours a week, and that 10 hours a week you can now allocate to better marketing, training the sales team, building out SOPs so you can ramp people up quicker, how much higher of a revenue generating activity is that, as opposed to you going in and fixing a client landing page or a funnel or like a fucking snapshot? Do you know what I'm saying? It saves you so much time. So that in itself is an investment. It's not an expense.
Yeah, true. And on top of that, we're going to hire a closer. We're ramping someone up as a setter first. I think he can be a closer, so they can take more calls. Because one of our bottlenecks right now is actually availability. We're getting calls booked in the calendar every single day. So,
sick.
Closer, CSM. I know I should have hired this way earlier, but a Black Hat VA to kind of do all the admin stuff, the payroll, all of that kind of stuff that you told us to do. So that, and yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, right now. And here's the thing, right? a lot of like your SOPs and the systems that you use, that you have in licensing and scale, we can use that. And I know like we can squeeze and get like have a better dialed in process and system without just simply hiring more and more people.
Yeah,
So
and I tell that to everyone as well. I'm like, look, just get my SOPs, throw them into Manus, ChatGPT, and just use them for your clients. It's like, that's essentially what it's for, you know?
Yeah, 100%. It's a game changer. And that's one thing I like about like licensing and scale as well. Like I have yet to find a program or a coaching program that teaches more on those stuff. Operations, hiring, leadership, right? You have recordings for like how you handle a clients who are not
Yeah.
right? How to do onboarding calls. Like those are extremely valuable because during those process, if you don't learn all of that and you have to go through that yourself without learning, you're gonna churn, you're gonna have disputes and all of that kind of stuff. So we essentially cut the process and the failures basically.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's easy to give a framework, you know? Like, I was thinking about that when I was building the program. I'm like, I could give a framework and just be like everyone else. But, like, I know when I went in a program, the most annoying thing is like, oh, here's how to do it. Here's the framework. But it's like, well, fucking show me. Like, I want to see you doing it, you know? Because, like, not every prospect is just going to go through this framework willy-nilly. Not every client is going to be okay with you following an exit framework. Some of them are going to cry on the call. How do you handle that, you know? And it's like those things that were the main gaps I was trying to fill, but yeah, I'm happy that helped. I guess the final thing I want to wrap up on is, if you were to go back like 2 or 3 months ago when you were at like 12K, what would you say to yourself as like, okay, here's the thing that you know you need to do that you shouldn't, that you know you need to do that you aren't doing, for somebody who might be in a similar boat that's trying to get up to like 42K in a week?
Don't be scared, take risk, get help. Like that's the thing, you don't know what you don't know. Like I thought I know a lot, right? I was a closer for like 2 to 3 years. Bro, I learned so much on your sales module, right? When it comes to like selling to like B2B space. So I would say it depends on like how fast you want to scale at the end of the day and how much trial and errors do you want to go through. Don't get me wrong, you're still going to go through trial and errors, but by joining, like getting a mentor like Cam or anybody, it's just shorten the time frame. Like at the end of the day, you're going to waste more money and time and resources by trying to figure shit out yourself rather than just paying someone who have done it, who have gone through everything. Like we know up to like 300K months, we got everything in licensing and scale. We don't need any more distractions or any other programs. You can just stick here, do what needs to get done, and we'll get to that 300K months.
Cool, bro. That's pretty much everything. Appreciate having you on.
Anytime, Cam. See you soon.
Peace.